am making these high-waisted shorts from a t-shirt. Starting off by laying out my t-shirt, I'm just using a regular solid black one today. Just making sure that it is nice and smooth. You can use fabric if you want. You don't have to use a t-shirt if you don't have one. That's totally fine. And then I'm laying a pair of underpants that I like the fit of on top of that, because those are the ones that we're going to use to get the right shape. So I'm pulling down the forward part of the fabric of the underpants and I'm pinning along that side. There are two ways to pin. I'm gonna do one way for the front and another for the back. So I'm only pinning half for this type of pinning. And I'm going up all the way across the side as well. And since we want these to be high-waisted, I'm gonna keep going higher than the underpants that I'm using. That I'm folding it over like this, and then we don't have to pin both sides. And then I'm cutting, which means that I'm cutting both sides equally at the same time. So that saves you time on pinning by doing that kind of pinning. And that will make up the front of my hot pants. And then using the back of the t-shirt to create the other side. And I'm starting this time by folding it over like so, folding the underpants over as well, and then placing them on top of the t-shirt like this. This is the second way to pin. So again, just following the line of those underpants and just pinning all along that. So either way you prefer to pin, they both work the same way basically. Once I am done all the way across the underpants, I'm going to put those aside and get out the pieces that I cut for the front and use that to get the same height for the piece that we're pinning right now. And then I am cutting that piece as well. And since it's double folded, we get the whole piece at once. All right, then to make that little crotch slit, I'm using what's left over of my t-shirt. And then just pinning the same way all around. Doesn't have to be exact. And we are gonna hem this later, just remember that. So the piece that I'm cutting is a little bit bigger than the piece is on my underpants. Tweak it until you're happy, and then cut that out to make the crotch part. If you want to go double on this just for safety, go ahead and use 2 layers of fabric. Then it's time to sew the 3 together by the crotch area. So I'm starting by pinning the edge of the crotch to the edge of the front of the crotch of the main piece. Pinning those together and then doing the same to the other part so that all 3 parts are now connected by the crotch. And I'm pinning this inside out. And then I'm going to sew that so that everything is attached. Then I will be hemming the entire side and the leg pieces. So basically hemming everything except for the waist. I'm keeping that so that we can sort of try them on and make sure that everything comes out at the same length. And repeating that same step, pinning all the way around on the other side as well. Be careful in the crotch area, since it does curve, it can be a little bit tricky to pin there. Just take your time with it. And then go ahead and sew all the way across. Then you have the base of your hot pants, and it's time to hem the waist. Just make sure that everything matches up. So I'm double folding just to get a neat line, and then I'm sewing that. Then it's time to start trying them on and attaching the laces on the sides, or the elastic band. I'm just using a regular black elastic band for this. I'm cutting that into tiny pieces, starting by attaching the top ones. And this is easier if you have somebody to help you. This is the most time-consuming part of this project. Did the top one, the bottom one, and then all the ones in the middle. I ended up using 5 on each side. Pin those, make sure that you're happy with everything, and then when you are, go ahead and sew. I'm sewing everything across the entire side seam again, just to make sure that it's really on there, and then tying the loose end threads together so that it doesn't open up. And then the hot pants are done and ready to be worn.